If there's anything that Super Mario Bros. Wonder is known for, it's how the game defies expectations and breaks the formulaic nature that has made 2D Mario stale. I mean, the second level is a musical level with singing piranha plants. I don't think I need to explain further. But what you might not expect is how much the game breaks traditions. Since the beginning, almost every 2D Mario game had something in common. In some way or somehow, there's always a shortcut to get to the end faster. Whether you're a fan of the coveted warp zone or would rather blast away to distant lands in a cannon, the option was always there. So leading to the release of this brand new Mario game, many players were expecting a brand new, mysterious way to travel across the land in record times. But players were hard pressed to find any way to speed up progression. While the game had secret exits and alternate paths, you always had to get enough Wonder Seeds to progress to the end of every world. And I mean every world. To get to Bowser, players must beat all 6 worlds and collect their Royal Seeds. You might think this isn't much of an issue. After all, players were forced to experience all the game has to offer. But that's just the issue. Players were forced to play this way. If players wanted a faster way to beat the game, they would be completely out of luck. And this is an especially big hit to the speedrunning community. Up to this point, typical 2D Mario games can be beaten in around 20 to 30 minutes, and in some cases, you can clock in a run in just 5 minutes or less. So let's mosey on over to Super Mario Bros. Wonder and whoa. The fastest, and I mean the fastest someone has beaten the game is an impressive time of 2 hours and 12 minutes, set by Adrelec. Now, don't get me wrong, just because a speedrun is long doesn't mean it's a bad game to speedrun. In fact, there are many amazing things this game has to offer, like the movement options, the constantly changing gameplay, and the endless quest to optimize the route. But all of it is unfortunately overshadowed by the length. Even speedrunners may not have the patience to sit down and play a Mario game for over 2 hours. Speaking of speedrunning, what better to go hand in hand with pushing the games to its absolute limits is the art of glitches. Every game nowadays seems to have a plethora of fun and wacky glitches. Some are a neat novelty while others can break the game and can ultimately help those speedrunners achieve crazy times. So would it surprise you that not a single glitch has been discovered? I know the game has only been out for a week, but not a single one? There are cool advanced techniques like infinite bubble jumps and one-side parachute climbs, but those don't technically qualify as a glitch. In fact, I believe those techniques were intended, or at least intentionally left in. I would define a glitch as a fault in the game's code that results in unintended behavior that can be exploited. And, well, after a week of glitch hunting, the community ended empty-handed. It's shocking, but the game was rumored to have no deadline. I guess the developers really went hard on the bug fixes. So the game doesn't allow for shortcuts, and the game also seems to have some thick skin. It's not the perfect circumstances for a speedrun, but the community still tried their best to lower their times. And a lot of people had fun speedrunning the game despite its length. This was the state of Super Mario Bros. Wonder speedruns. It was. Until October 28th at 4:20 PM, a message from Burger and Fries was about to change everything. Hello everyone. I found out that using multiplayer, it's possible to get open world movement on the overworld where you're not supposed to. And attached is a video of Mario falling through the world. Super Mario Bros. Wonder just got its first glitch. Initially, there wasn't much practical use to the glitch. Burger was able to skip a few required levels in World 4, but you still ultimately needed a certain amount of Wonder Seeds to beat each world. But that's when people remembered something. LuigiFan32 discovered that you don't need to beat the palace to progress to Petal Isles. All players needed to do was find a way to reach the warp at the end of the world. And with this new trick, players may be able to freely move over to the trigger. And about an hour later, Burger got Palace Skip. This not only skipped needing to beat the palace, but also skipped the 14 Wonder Seed requirement, leaving only the 10 Wonder Seed requirement left in the world. This skips 3 levels from the original route, which saves roughly 4 minutes. Now we may not collect the Royal Seed in World 1, but as it turns out we don't need the Royal Seed. In fact, we only need the Royal Seeds from Worlds 4, 5, and 6, as the game just assumes we collected the first 3 ones. A pretty notable time save, but it was only the start of something greater. Upon hearing the news, I decided to do some experimenting live on stream with this new glitch to see if we can skip anything else. My first mission was to also skip the 10 Wonder Seed gate, which would save even more time in World 1. We started to understand the glitch a bit more. Here's what we found out. With 2 players, have the player with the crown stand on a linear path and have the other player run over to some interactable object in the open area. This could be a level or something like the shop. Then go to the characters menu and confirm what characters you want to play as. You don't have to switch characters, just confirm through the menu. This will teleport the other player to the crowned player, but will allow them to move around in places they weren't supposed to. And this movement exposes some areas without collision, leading to some unintended behavior. After 2 hours of messing around, we managed to go out of bounds at the bad shop and move around the map to skip the 10 Wonder Seed gate.
What is going on? Wait, is the glitch now messed up? No, we're stuck! No, we're stuck! Wait, okay, but we might have to do this twice.
The last step was to literally get past a step. But after 2 more hours, yes, 2 more hours, we were able to beat World 1 while only needing 3 Wonder Seeds.
Yo, let's go! We in there, baby! We did it!
But we still had more work to do. Like I said, we only need the royal seeds in the last 3 worlds. The warps to those worlds are always present in Petal Isles, but getting to them would be a massive undertaking. We could do the glitch to freely walk around the map, but there's no exposed collision to go out of bounds. We would need a brand new glitch. But what are the odds that 2 glitches would be found so close together after having nothing for a week? Enter Roblox 8192. Roblox is a pretty well-versed glitch hunter. I know Roblox from her work in Super Paper Mario glitch hunting, and she's about to take these new discoveries to a whole new level. Normally, you can't pause while moving between levels on a linear path. If you could, then you could teleport a player in between levels, which could put them out of bounds. But Roblox discovered that jumping delays this teleport. Simply jump and pause, then move a player between levels, and the other player would be teleported out of bounds. This was the last puzzle piece needed to absolutely break the game. About an hour after this discovery, Pig Popper used this new tech to skip World 2. Yep, all of World 2. Simply going out of bounds in Petal Isles allows you to skip over to the next isle, which is normally only accessible after finishing World 2. At the same time, Neil was working on a way to skip World 3. This method involved clipping in World 3 and taking the Captain Toad pipe to World 4. After taking the pipe to World 4, you do get stuck with only a single level to play. But cleverly, Neil tried game overing in that level, which took him to the start of World 4, successfully skipping World 3. And at the same time as that, I was working on a way to skip all the way to World 6. From the very start of Petal Isles, you can clip out of bounds and drop to the isle with World 6. Now you still need to collect 15 Wonder Seeds to access World 6, but this clip opened up the way to clip to World 5 as well. This allows you to bypass the long airship auto-scroller level, but you do need to do several precise clips and out-of-bounds movement. Now I do want to briefly mention just how much the community had an impact on these glitch discoveries. I know I said that X person discovered this or X person found that, but in all honesty, this was a huge community effort with many ideas from many different people. Okay, so we just went over a bunch of crazy stuff. Let's quickly summarize. Hour 0, Burger and Fries demonstrates the open area anywhere glitch. Hour 1, Burger and Fries successfully pulls off Palace skip. Hour 5, Zimbo manages to skip the 10 Wonder Seed gate, but gets stuck before the palace. And an hour later at Hour 6, Zimbo manages to make it past the palace as well. Half an hour later, Roblox discovers the out-of-bounds teleport glitch. And an hour after that, at Hour 7, Pig Popper discovers World 2 skip. At that same hour, Neil gets to World 4, but gets stuck. By Hour 8, Neil gets to go to the start of World 4 using the game over. Also at Hour 8, Zimbo gets to the World 6 isle early, and half hour later, he gets to World 5 isle early. And to top it all off, at Hour 9, an even easier method to skip World 3 was found by Luigi Fan that gets to World 4 without ever entering World 3. In the span of 9 hours, over 40 minutes of time save was discovered and implemented. Any percent changed overnight. And this isn't even where the story ends. Over the next following days, even more applications were found using these two glitches, like airship skip and other airship skip. But that's a story for another day. Moral of the story, glitches are fun, and never count out finding massive time saves. You never know what's hiding under the surface, you just have to start digging. Thanks for watching. Catch my speedruns on Twitch and stay tuned for even more Mario Wonder content.